Okay, we're up to Nazir Daf Samich. We're up to Nazir Daf Samich, and we're going to begin the Mishnah at the end of Nun Tes Amid Beis. And if it looks familiar, if it looks familiar, we've been here before. We've been here before. Good. How so? We said this. Here's the problem. You're speaking about a person who's a Nazir. He's a Nazir Tahar. He's a full-fledged Nazir. And he's a suffix whether he's Tamei Meis, suffix whether he is what he is a Mitzvah. So you have a regular Nazir who's got Saris, and we have to get him out of this pickle. How do we get him out of this situation? So he's in this difficult situation. How do we get him out of this difficult situation? Okay, that's the question. So the easiest way we did it, we saw 30, 60, 90, 120. 30 took care of the first shaving of and there's a Mitzvah. Mitzvah has to shave how many times? 2 times. 1, 7 days later, 2, brings his karbanis. Another Tamei shaves once, and then he brings his karbanis, and then he goes to his Nazir Taira, and Nazir Taira shaves once. So in total, the most shavings that he could do is 4. 2 for his Mitzvah, kite, 1 for his Tuma kite, and 1 for his purification kite. Okay, you got that. Now, we have to progressively go down the various possibilities. So in front of you is what we did. We did the numbers, guys. We did the numbers. We didn't do the particular kabbanis he's going to go ahead and bring by those numbers. So we're going to go through the Mishnah, and you know what? Let's go through the whole thing. Why not? Okay. He's a suffix Mitzvah. Good. Right now he's a suffix Mitzvah. He can't take a haircut right away because he might be a Nazir Tahar. And if it's Nazir Tahar, he didn't count as Naziris. Good. So in other words, before we begin, there has to be a counting of 30 days. Guys, shake your head. We got it. Got to be a counting of 30 days because he might be a Nazir Tahar. Now, counts 30 days. He brings the birds of the Tziporim. Remember, these are birds that are outside the machne. These birds are not inside the machne. These birds are outside the machne. They're not kabbanis. 2 birds, kills 1, holds them together, haisap, tlashani, sprinkles on, and goodbye bird. He brings 2 birds. This is not Ma'ilo Marid. This would just help in the fact if he was a Vadai Mitzvah. Okay? And after 30 days, he shaves once. So what does this do? This goes ahead and takes care of the fact that he might be a Mitzvah. He's bringing the birds outside. He's shaving once. Now, he might be a Nazir Tamei, and he's not a Mitzvah at all. If he's a Nazir Tamei, so he took a haircut for being a Nazir Tamei, shaved his head. He's got to bring a Chata Sa'if. He brings for a Tamei Meis. Now, really, he could bring the Oila Saif also. He brings the Asham. The Gemara is going to ask, what about the Asham? It's not Ma'akiv. We're going to go according to Rav Shimon. By bringing the Chata Saif, that takes into account he might be Tamei Meis. He also brings an Oilus Behema, which takes into account that he might be a Nazir Tahar. So, after shaving 1, he's bringing 3 karbanis. The birds, Chata Saif, Oilus Behema. The birds are not karbanis. That's for the possibility that he's a Mitzvah. The Oilus Chatas Oif is the possibility he might be Tamei Meis. And the Oilus Behema he might be a Nazir Tahar. After another 30 days, he waits another 30 days because when he might be a Nazir Tamei, if he's a Nazir Tamei, right, he needs to count another 30 days, counts another 30 days, he then brings a Chatas Oif, right? The Chatas Oif is for the possibility that he's a Mitzvah. Mitzvah would bring a Chatas Oif, a carbon dal of a Mitzvah, a body shave. Also, he might be Tamei Meis. So he brings in what? The Oilers Behema. That's Nazir Tahar. So the Chatas Oif is going to seem to be a dual purpose. It seems to be it's for Tamei Tumas Meis and also for the Mitzvah. And he makes the following condition, right? He makes the following condition. If he's a Mitzvah, that's a Schayv. And if it's not a Mitzvah, then he's in a Dava. Right? If it's a Mitzvah, then this is a Schayv, and it's not a Not and if it's not a mitzvah, then it might be a nedava. And this would take care of. So now he's taking care of his mitzvah. Therefore, after this, he can now go ahead and, provided that he had been spritz with paraduma, which he was, he can now eat kachim. This is what we said in the Mishnah. He eats kachim after 60 days. 30 for this and 30 for that. Good? 30 for this, 30 for that. He now goes ahead and he counts another 30 days, a total of 90, 30, 60, 90. He counts another 30 days. Why does he have to count another 30 days? Because maybe what? He's beginning he took care of his what? Mitzvah. He can't take care of his Nazir Tumah, guys, if he's a Mitzvah. In other words, during the maze of his Nazir Tumah, it doesn't, Mitzvah, it doesn't count. So now he has to go ahead and take the accountability. He might be a Nazir Tameh. So he counts another 30 days. Then he's beginning his Nazir's Tumah. Brings the Chatas Oif that takes care of his Nazir's Tumah. If he was a Nazir Tahar, he brings another Behema for Nazir Tahar. He then counts another 30 days. Why? Because maybe he's a Nazir Tahar. And then he brings the Kabbanis. Of course, this is stuck, and I don't know how to do this when it gets stuck. He's going to bring the last one. He's going to bring. Let me stop the share. Now maybe I can move this.
The chart is great. I understand it much better than I did when we did the Mishnah the first time.
Well, thank you. Now I just have to get the chart up now again. I got you guys here. Come on. No. That's the wrong chart. This is the right chart, guys. So here's day number 4, right? Shaving number 4, you've taken care of after, again, 1 and 2 took care of your mitzvah, 3 took care out of your nasa tameh, 4 is taking care of your nasa tahar. And now you have the birds as well. You have the birds as well, the animals as well. This is going to take us down the block. Let's see what we got, okay?
How many days is that in total?
120.
120, okay.
120. So comes out like this, guys. After 60 days, he's no longer mitzvah. Since he's no longer mitzvah, he's not mechusik kippurim anymore. He can eat kachim. However, he can't drink wine with tamal mesim until he goes ahead and takes care of his naziris. That only transpires after 120. Then he can go ahead and do it. Says the Mishnah. Under Teslamid base. Nazir shahayatame b'safik umuflich b'safik. So he's a vaday nazir, but he has safik tuma and safik mitzayra. What does he do? Eichel b'kachim achar shishim yom. He can eat kachim after 60 days. Right? Going through it very quickly. The first 30 days, he waits 30 days because maybe he's in Nasa Tahar and he's not able to go ahead and shave his head yet. He shaves his head once, which will count for his Naziris of Tyra. He goes another 30 days, maybe because he's in Nasa Tameh or still in Nasa Tahar, and he goes ahead and a second body shave. And again, with the Kabbanis, we're going to see again. And now he's not a Mitzvah anymore. So now, since he's not a Mitzvah anymore, he's not Mechusik Kippurim, he could eat kachim. 30 more days after the 60 to 90 for Nazir Tameh, 30 more days after that for Nazir Tahar, and now you're squeaky clean at 120. Now, why could you go ahead and count 30 days before the first body shave? Why could you count 40? In other words, you have a problem. In other words, you're going ahead. Why am I able to go ahead and count 30 days before I do my Naziris? If Naziris, you have to do 30. The Teglachas of the Mitzvah puts the Naziris on hold. That's the key. Since it puts the Naziris on hold, I can have 30 days for the Mitzvah and not for the Nazir. Sure. Bismanshu Vadai. Bismanshu Safik ain't a Daicha. Bismanshu Safik, it's not Daicha. When it's a Safik, therefore, Teglachas nega doicha, teglachas nazir bismanshu vadai. When is vada a mitzayra? We said esi dochalosa, say it's going to go ahead and it's going to push off the nazir. The mitzayra is going to, not the esi dochalosa. I'm sorry, I brought that in. Teglachas nega doicha, teglachas nazir bismanshu vadai, when it's for sure. But bismanshu safik ain't a doicha. So therefore, you couldn't be yaitzi. You couldn't kill two birds with one stone. You couldn't kill two birds with one stone. Now, Pana says the Gemara. Pana says the Gemara. B'medavar mamurim. When do we say 30, 60, 90, 120? That's Menaziris Muetes. Al Menaziris, right? Hello? Okay, so now we did this before. If this 30, 60, 90, 120 is by a Naziris of 30 days. Guys, what happens in Naziris of a year? So then it's 4 times a year. As opposed to 4 times 30, so it's 4 years, right? We did this before. Baruch Hashem. Says the Gemara. Pana, b'medim the Mishnah in 120 days b'Naziris muetes. Av Naziris bas shana oichel b'kodshim la'acha shtei shanim b'shoyse yayin b'tamel mesim la'acha arba shanim. You could drink it. You could eat kodshim after 2 years. That's like equivalent to what after 60 days. And you can go ahead and your Naziris after equivalent to 120 would be equivalent to what, to 4 years. B'toni Allah, meglachas arba takluchiyos. You go ahead and you shave 4 times. You go ahead, what? And you're going to go ahead and you're going to shave your head 4 times, right? And what do you? What's the shavings of those 4 times? The shavings of the 4 times are very good. The first shaving is, let's see it inside. Taglachas rishoyna maybe tzipoirim. You're going to bring tzipoirim, guys, which are the birds outside the machne. The chatas ha'oif, v'oilas behema. There it is right in front of you. Shnia, the second one, maybe chatas ha'oif, v'oilas behema. The third one, you're going to bring chatas ha'oif, v'oilas behema. And the fourth one, you're going to bring kabbanis of nazir tahar. You saw that it's in front of you, guys? Revius, maybe, carbon tyra, it's all there. Yes? Yes, no, maybe?
Yep.
Okay. Now, going through the cheshbon. Omra, teglachas rishoin, maybe you're going to bring this and this. We go through the cheshbon. Manav shach. Shapik kamaisi. The ivada mitzayrahu, v'lav tamehu. If he's a vada mitzayra and not a tameh, so therefore, and tameh is lav dafka because it doesn't make a difference. Vada mitzayrahu tziparin chayvasai. The chatas oif safik, azla lekfura, va'oilas ha'oif having a dava. Guys, look at the top line. Top line. If he's vada mitzayra, guys, look at the board. If he's vada mitzayra, this takes care of that. If he's not a mitzayra and he's tamei meis, this takes care of that. And if he's neither and he's nazir tahar, it takes care of that. So in other words, I'm not bringing any carbon incorrectly. All these are possibilities. Right? So if this was Vade Mitzayra, this would be in the Dava. If he was Vade Mitzayra, this would be brought al Safik and then buried. The Kohen would need it. Again, guys, the big Chiddush in Torah is the Chatas Ha'oif can be brought bis Safik. It can be. Do you see my face on the screen? I don't see my face on the screen. You see me? Good. You see me? Okay, good.
Yes.
The Chatas Ha'oif can be brought bis Safik, fellas. Since the Chatas Ha'oif can be brought bis Safik, you bury it. So again, one more time. Just look at the screen. It's beautiful. If he's Vade Mitzayra, he's good here. This is brought besafik and therefore bury it. This is in a dava. If he's not a mitzayra, so who gives the hoot? These birds are outside the machne. It's not a problem. If he's tamei, this is his carbon. And this is his nadava. If he is what? If he's not a mitzayra and not tamei and what and a nazir, so this is his chayv. Then this is what for his nazir taira. Guys, you're good, right? Beautiful, right in front of us. Next, back inside the Gemara. The Chatazai Saf having the Dava. It just mentions the Gemara, you can't take a haircut. Guys, what would happen if is after this, 7 days later, he should take a haircut, right? 7 days later, he should take a haircut. If this is the first shavings of a Mitzayra, fellas, then he should take the second one, third, not 30 days later, but 7 days later. Because Mitzayra is what? 7 days in between, and he brings Kabbanis on day 8. So the Gemara is parenthetically saying you cannot go ahead and wait like a normal Mitzvah 7 days. Why not? The Dilma Lav Muchletu. Maybe he's not a Mitzvah. If he's not a Mitzvah, then he has no waiver to go ahead and take a haircut. He can't. He has to wait 30 days. So guys, you good? Guys, I need a bobblehead over here. You're good, please? Okay, great. Now, how about this? The other possibility. The ilav mitzayra vadai have. And if he's not a mitzayra vadai, v'hu tamei. So guys, what is he? Look at the board. He's not this, but he is this. He's tamei. Good? So watch. Chatas oif chayvasai. The chatas oif is his chayv. The chatas is his chayv. I spoke this out already. The tziporin avroi kamis avdin. These tziporin are nothing. They're brought outside, right? V'loi havi chulin ba'zara. V'oilis behema havi nedava. And this is a nedava. So if he's a mitzayra, this is thrown away, and this is a nedava. If he's not a mitzayra, this is nothing. He's tamei, this counts, and this is a nedava. Now, what about the other possibility? He's neither this or this. If he lav mitzayra hu v'lav tamei hu, and if he's not a mitzayra and he's not tamei, look at the board, guys. See, poirin avroi kam avdin. These are outside. We don't care. Chatas oif likfura. We don't need it. It's a suffix. Throw it away. Good. Geschmack. Fred the Gemara of Abai Asham. For the mitzayra, how does it help? You still need a carbon Asham. Says Gemara Yishmael he. It's according to Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Shimon he. Rabbi Shimon. Dama maisi umasni. You bring the carbon Asham and you make a condition. Tiglachash. All right. You make a condition and say what? If what? If I'm a mitzayra, I need it. If not, it should be in a dava. That's what Shimon holds. You could bring this a dava. Okay, guys. So we explained the first thing according to all 3 possibilities. Yes. Now let's go to line number 2 and the different possibilities. Now, tiglacha shniya. That's line number 2. Tiglacha shniya ushlishis. Add line number 3. We're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Excuse the pun. We have 2 and 3. What are we going to do? See, guys, you don't need any birds because you took care of that possibility in number 1. So you don't need any birds. The oven, you did it already. My ikka, what do you have to deal with? Maybe he was a mitzayra muchlit and it's body shave number 2, right? So chada, 1 chata sa'oif by the second one, 1 chata sa'oif, sifroi, right? 1 chatas by the second one, he's bringing after bimei sifroi, after he counts, he shaves the second time. The chada and 1 bird, right? 1 bird by the third one is going to take care of the suffix to masai. So guys, we're dealing with the chatas oif now. This chatas oif, if he was vadai mitzayra, is going to take care of his carbon, right? He's going to take care of his carbon if he was mitzayra. The chatas oif number 3 is going to take care of the tamei because you took care. He's out of the ballpark of being a mitzayra already. He's only a shaila about him being tamei. So this chatas oif takes care of the mitzayra part. This chatas oif takes care of the nazei tamei part. Beautiful. Tiglachas revius, the last one, what does he do? Maybe carbon tahira. He brings the carbon tahira, meaning he's going to bring 3 karbanis. He's going to bring what? He's going to bring a chatas, an oila, and a shlamim. And he's going to say the following. He's going to make the following condition, right? Inside, Amid Beis, the ivadai nazahu. If he was a nazar all along, and meaning all this was meaningless, guys, all this was meaningless, right? In other words, going back to first base, it could be this is all a moot point because he never was a Messiah and he was never Tameh. All he was what? Was a nazar. So this was his carbon oila, right? It was nazar tar, right? So now he's saying, at this point, he's bringing in also the fact that what? That there's 2 other karbanis. There's the shlamim and the chatas. So he's saying the condition. The ivadai nazar have a oila rishayna during the first body shave after 30 days. Chayva. Vizu, and the oila that he's bringing now is in the dava. Yes? And the shlomim and the chatas, no problem. He can bring now. We saw yesterday. You don't have to bring it at the same time. It's not bal ta'acher. Guys, you with me? I got a knot. Did I get a bobblehead? Great. The imtame muchlit who, and what's he say over here? And if I was a tame and a muchlit, meaning I was tame and a mitzayra, oila rishoin in the dava. At this point, guys, I couldn't bring my oila because I couldn't finish my naziris on shave number 1 because I was both mitzayra and a tame. So therefore, zu chayva, this oila that I'm bringing right now on shave number 4 is my chiyuv. V'zer shar kabanoi, and the chatas and the shlamim on the rest of my kabanas. Okay, how we doing? You got it? I'm coming up for breath. Guys, you saw it in front of you, right? It's beautiful, yeah? Right, it was right in front of you. There it is. You took care of number 1, took care of the 3 possibilities, right? Again, the possibilities is you're dealing with possibilities and you're dealing with bringing carbonis that may not be carbonis. So how do I go ahead and do it, right? So the birds outside is great. If you needed the first round, wonderful. Second round, you don't need it at all. Third round, you don't need it at all. Fourth round. If I never needed them at all, it's never a problem because they're outside. The godless of the chatas ha'oif, the godless is that if I need it, great. If I don't need it, it can be brought besafik and I can bury it. The godless of the oila, it could be either brought as a chayv or as an adava. So therefore, I don't have to deal with cholim ba'azara and dealt with everything else. Good. That's the Gemara so far. Now, we need a little more. Just when you thought that was been enough, here's a little more action, guys. No, I don't need this. I don't need this. I need this. That hard to see? It is hard to see? Okay, I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit. I know that's better, right? Okay. Let's see a line in the Gemara. The Gemara now is going to go through some different variables. Says the Gemara, 4 lines down. Let's say Tame, in other words, we just dealt with the case, guys, of the only thing that was sure was he was a Nazir Tahar. We were supik in the other 2 venues, right? Whether he was Tame Safik or and Muflik Safik. Now we're going to go through the venues, and one of them was a Vadai. In other words, guys, either it's going to be he's a Vadai Mitzayra and a Safik Tameh, or he's what? He's a Safik Mitzayra and a Vadai Tameh. And we're going to see the different variables. Now watch. Says the Gemara. Tameh Safik u'muchlit Vadai. He's Tameh Safik and he's Muchlit Vadai. Oichel b'kachim la'acha shmoina yamim. He's going to eat kachim after 8 days. He's going to eat kachim after what? After 8 days. Okay, he's going to eat kachim after 8 days. Okay, how so? How so? Okay, we have it over here. How so? You can see it. Okay, he's a tamei safek, right? You don't know. So, but he's Vadai Mitzayra. So, Tamei Safik, you need 7 days for his mace ritual, and you need 7 days for his ritual. On the 8th day, after he goes through his ritual, so he can be spritz 3 and 7. He finishes his body shave, and he's Vadai Mitzayra. So on day 8, he brings his kabbanis, correct? What does he do after day 8? He's no longer Mitzayra. So he eats kachim after day 8. But now he's a Tamei Misafik. I got to finish his Naziris. Good. So what happens now? You have to wait 30 days. Maybe he's a Nazir Tahira. Again, it's a suffix. So you can't take a haircut until 30 days, yes? Then you take a Tiglachas for the Tumah, because he might be Tamei. And then he has to wait another 30 days, because maybe he's what? Maybe he's a Nazir Tahar. So you're going to get a total of 67 days. 30 days for 7 days for this part, 30 days for the nazar that maybe after he can't take a haircut because maybe he's a nazar tahar. He can't go ahead and be being kabbanis because maybe he's a nazar tameh. Therefore, you go ahead and take a body shave. Then you're going to go ahead and bring 30 days to the glachas. Therefore, 67 days he drinks wine and mason. So, as opposed to when they were suffix, it was 60-20. It was 60-20. When one is a vadai, the mitzvah is a vadai, it's going to be 8 and 67. 8 days mechusar kippurim, 67 for the 7 days for mace, and 30 days. Really, that's 68 days. It's 68 would be 1 day after this. So 30 and 30 is going to give you 67. Let's see it inside. Tamei safik umuchlet vadai. Guys, you see it in front of you. There it is. Look, take a look. After 8 days, he took care of his mechusar kippurim, his vadei mitzayra. He could eat kachim. Yes, nothing's going to stop him. Next, and he's going to be able to go ahead and end this nazirus after 67 days. I did it in front of you. Let's see it again one more time. Mitzayra is clear, right? 7 days for the mace is going to be included in these 8 days. 30 days for the fact that he might be tamei. 30 days for the tyra. This is total of 67 days. Squeaky clean, no problem. Yes, no problem. Yes, no problem, except when you're trying to get the chart to move, which is always a problem. I don't know. I wish I knew how to do this better. I wish I knew how to do this better, but what happens is I don't. Okay, let's start again. Share screen. I didn't gain anything. I'm sorry, I apologize. This really stirs me. Could see this now? Good. Now, the next possibility, guys, let's see inside. He is a mitzvah outside. Let's see it over here. He's a mitzvah suffix, but he's vadai tameh. Good. He's a mitzvah suffix, but he's vadai tameh. So now he's vadai tameh, 7 days, 1 tiglachas. Now that 1 tiglachas helps, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It takes care of the tiglachas for tameh mace. It also takes care of the fact that he might be a mitzvah. So you kill 2 birds with 1 stone, correct? Now, since he's vadei tumas mace, you need 30 days to grow your chuk, right? 30 days later, right? He counts 30 days. He then goes ahead and he takes a second haircut. Because why? Because he might be a mitzvah. He might be a mitzvah. Now, after 37 days, therefore, he can eat kachim. After 37 days, he can eat kachim. That took care of the mitzvah. Now, if he's a mitzvah, then he didn't count as nazirus. So he's going to have to count another 37 days, right? He has to go through the previous ritual, because if he was a mitzvah, he had none of this counts, guys. Because during this period, you can't get rid of your nazirus being a mitzvah. So what you're going to have to do is count another 37 days, which is a total of 74. So what you'll be able to do is after 7 days, after 37 days, you'll be able to eat kachim. After 74 days, you'll be able to drink wine and mason. Okay, let's see it inside. Muchlit suffik. Let's say he was a mitzvah suffik. The tamei vadai and his vadai tamei. Eichel b'kachim lachash shloshim v'shiva yamim. You can eat kachim after 37 days. Here, you guys, you have in front of you 7 days for the vadai, 30 days. Why? Because maybe he's a nazir, and so therefore 37 days. 74 days, he's going to go twice, 37 plus 37. Okay, now last case. Tamei vadai, muchlit vadai. this should be very easy. Look at the chart. He's Tamei Vadai, and he's he's mamish. So what? He goes ahead, counts 7 days, takes a haircut. Now, on the 8th day, he's going to bring his kabbanis. He can eat kachim after the 8 days. That haircut that he took counts for the haircut that you needed for the mitzayra, counts for the haircut you needed for the tamei mace. Yes? Yes, no, maybe, guys? Good. Now, he's going to count 7 days for his naziris of tumah. And then he's going to bring what? A carbon. He's going to bring a carbon for naziris tumah, and then he can count his naziris. So, all intents and purposes, 8 plus 7, or 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 and 30 is 44. I put 45 over here if you count the 8th day. So now, he finishes naziris on day 44. Again, one more time, guys. If he's vadai tamei, vadai, so we know that the 7 days, he's going to take a haircut on after 7 days. One for the tumah, one for the mitzayra. It counts for both. On the 8th day, the mitzayra now can eat kachim. No problem. Good. What about the nazir? He has to count 30 days for his chup. Right? He has to count 30 days for his chup. But for that, he has to do 7 days for maybe his tamei tumas mace. Okay, because that was suspended because of what? That was suspended because of the mitzayra. So 7 plus 37 is 37, plus 7 is 44. Let's see it inside, and we will be very happy to continue through Shas and get past this Gemara. Says the Gemara. Tamei vadai muchlit vadai. Oichel b'kachim lachash shmini yomim. He's going to eat kachim after 8 days. No problem. He's a mitzayra. You know he's a mitzayra. Tzaris l'chus kippurim, goes through his ritual. He's good. And b'sheisi yayin b'tamei l'meisim la'acha abo v'abom yom. After what? 37 days later. 7 for what? For the tumah. 30 for growing the chup. There you got it. 37 plus 7 is 44. Guys, we're good? Want to bechina? I didn't think so.
Only if we can have an open chart.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely will let the notes in front of you. But again, it may, as long as it makes sense, Daf Yomi Kite, right? It's better than just reading the Gemara, that's for sure. So now, the Talmidim are going to ask Rav Shimon ben Yochaya a bunch of questions, which also not the easiest Gemara in the world. Not the easiest Gemara in the world. But we want to know, maybe it's possible to go ahead and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Maybe it's possible to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. What is that? Let's see. Says the Gemara. Shalu Talmidim es Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. Nazir tahar u'mitzayra. Ma'u she'galei teglachas achas. They can do 1 shavings. For oilaloi lekan and it should count for both. Okay? You have he's a Nazir tahar. He's a mitzayra. What's the deal about him going ahead and doing a tiglachas for both? Can he do that? So what's the case, right? You have a nazir, he's vade a nazir. On the day of his finishing in his naziris, guys, again, he has to finish his naziris. If he comes a mitzvah in the middle, it suspends it, correct? So he finishes melois, and now he becomes a mitzvah, and he's nisrapa from the tzaras in 1 day. It's nisrapa. So can the last shaving, the only shaving of a what? Guys, the only shaving of a nazir, can it count towards the first shaving of a mitzvah? Got it? Can the last shaving of a nazir, the only shaving of a nazir, can it count towards the first shaving of a mitzvah? So Amrullah, so Rav Shimon told him the following lumdis. He said, Ilu zela gadol, if the shaving was the purpose of growing hair afterwards, v'zela haver, and the purpose of the haircut was to not grow hair afterwards, yofa at oimrim, then the last haircut of the nazir and the first haircut of the mitzvah would work. Achshav, nazir, guys, when the nazir takes off his hair, is it for the purpose of growing or taking off his hair? Taking off his hair, right? The nazir wants to take off his hair. The mitzvah after the first shave, what does he want to do? He wants to grow his hair for 7 more days. The purpose, again, the Mitzvah has to go ahead and take a haircut twice. One right after the first shave, and a body shave after the 7 days. So you can't go ahead and say the Nazirs should help for the Mitzvah. After all, they're two different purposes. The Nazirs are the purpose to remove the hair, and the Mitzvah is for the purpose to grow your hair afterwards. So therefore, it doesn't work. So what is the Talmidim counted? I understand it cannot count for the first body shave, but what about the second? Guys, the Nazir after 7 days, that second haircut, you're not growing hair afterwards. That's to go ahead and take it off. So here's the question, can the taking off the hair of a Nazir count as the tiglachas for the taking off the hair of the Nazir and the second shavings of the Mitzvah? Because in both instances, they're to take off the hair. There's no growing hair after the second shavings of the Mitzvah. Says the Gemara, V'amulam, says Reb Shimon to them, Ilu zelef neis rikas damim, if they were both, if this one was before the zrika, zelef neis rika, yafatamim, you could do it. El Mitzvah lefneis rikas damim, the Mitzvah cuts his hair before he brings his carbon. V'nazir la'achas rikas damim, and the Nazir cuts his hair, guys, after he brings his carbon. So in other words, you're right in terms of the gadol and lahavara, that they're both lahavara over here, but you got another problem. The Mitzvah, he's cutting his hair, right? He's cutting his hair before he brings his carbon, and the Nazir is cutting his hair after he brings his carbon. We know the ritual, right? Okay. I understand. It can't be for what? The Tzaras and Naziris. However, it's like when it's the Hira, when it's the Naziris Petayra, it can't be. Either it can't be B'tzaratoi, the first savings, because one is Lagadl, one's Lahavir. It can't be for the second one because one is B'fnei Zrik of fourth Zrik. What about this one? Okay, let's be made Tzaratoi, where V'tumasai, the Tzaras, you're finishing up, second shave, you're going ahead, what? Second shave. So it's the second shave, V'tzaratoi, V'tumasai. It's the carbon tuma. Okay, the carbon tuma, you're gonna cut your, okay, it's the second shaving of the Nazir and the only shaving of the Nazir Tameh. It's the second shaving of the Nazir of the Mitzvah, so he's going to bring his kabbanis right afterwards, and it's the only shaving of the Nazir Tameh. What's the difference between the Nazir Tahar and Nazir Tameh? The Nazir Tameh Tahar brings cuts his hair after the kabbanis. The carbon Tameh, he cuts his hair before the kabbanis. So now the Nazir Tameh is similar to the Mitzvah in that what? In both cases, it's a lahavir. In both cases, it's to go ahead and remove the hair. And in both cases, it's before the carbon. So let it count for both. If they went to the mikvah before, the tameh, he goes to after he brings his carbon after he goes to the mikvah. He brings his carbon before he goes to the mikvah. So it's not similar. Actually, I think that I said carbon. I think it's body shape. It's the body shape. I'm sorry, guys. One more time. The tiglachas. When does the Nazir Tameh take his tiglachas after he goes to the mikvah? When does the Mitzvah take his tiglachas before he goes to the mikvah? Did I just say vice versa? Let me see again one more time. I'm sorry. Correct. The Tameh, he's going to go ahead and take his haircut after he goes to the mikvah, and the Mitzvah, he's going to take his haircut before he goes to the mikvah. So they're not similar in that way. So Amruloi Yafa Ata Oimer Shleitala Loi Mesipuroi Ilazirusai. So they said to Reb Shimon, okay, good. It can't count the Mesipuroi because the Mesipuroi is Lifnei Zrika. It can't count the Zirusai because that's going to be Lachas Zrika. However, Vatalaloi Limei Chilutoi Vitumasai. Let it count body shapes number one v'tumasai, v'zeh gidol, v'zeh gidol. Fellas, body shave number 1. Is he going to grow his hair afterwards? No, tuma is he going to grow his hair afterwards? 30 more days. So let the tiglachas of the first shavings of the mitzayra and the tiglachas of the carbon tuma be. Now it's going to work. There's no bias ma'im over here. No one's bringing karbonis yet. There's no zrika yet. So so everything is geschmack. The only problem would be the purpose is to grow it afterwards or to remove it. They're both the same. They're both to grow it. The nazir that's tameh has to grow his hair afterwards. The mitzayra that's the first shavings has 7 more days. So this is both what? Growing and growing. Lahen, he said to them, nazir ta'av mitzayra zel gadol zel havir. Okay, so he said to him, nazir tahar mitzayra. So I think this is like a kind of, this new Amalei is a whole different play on what we just said. So let's go to the following. Who Amalehem? Nazir Tahar, for whom it's Saira, Zel Gadol, Zel Havir. No, he's summarizing. If it's a Mitzayra, it's to grow it afterwards. If it's a Nazir, it's to remove it. That's a Nazir Tahar. Vim Nazir Tameh, whom it's Saira, and if he's a Nazir Tameh, it's Mitzayra, Zel Ifnei Biasmayim, Zel Acha Biasmayim. So basically, he told him quickly in a synopsis of the 2 possibilities. Let's finish it off. Tani Rabchia, Zel Ifnei Biasmayim, the Nazir Tameh is before Biasmayim, Zel Acha, Mitzayra is Acha Biasmayim, Zel Ifnei Zrika, Damim, the Nazir is a Taurus Ifnei Zrika, the Zel Acha Zrika, and the Nazir Tahar is Lifnei Zrika Damim. No, he cuts, no, other Rabbi, cuts his hair after Zrika Damim. Zel Acha Zrika. Okay. The Mitzayra, he would cut his hair before Zrika, and the Nazir Tameh would cut his hair after Zrika. I will stop over here. Back to Shabbos. We'll see you, B'ez Hashem. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry if it wasn't so clear at some time.
I
Actually,
never